Signal, make sure family is up, ready to listen. Pop everything off. We're going to keep that screen up. Let's see what's up here on our Hootsuite. Okay. We got some discussion points. Let's see what this post is here. Okay, that's a nice, beautiful black family. Before we get started, ain't nothing on there. I don't know what's going on here. What's going on? Alright, cool. Alright, so the black signal has went out. That means that the family is aware of the fact that we are up, we are live, we are at 'em. Oh my God, why do I get the broke pick? I don't understand. When my girls go natural, they have their hair down, I can't never find my pics. So, y'all know what it is. I want to welcome you first to the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is the congregation of the mighty. This is where the mighty gather. And you are now listening to Giami Journey Media. This is a Heart of a Simmer production. And of course, you know we are on the Daily Toast. And I want to say great Imani to all of you. Heart of a Simmer production. And last but not least, we strive to blow up your old paradigm. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath, man. Drink. Or should I say, breathe and drink. Now grab your glass for that water. Get your picture of that water. Lift that picture of that water. Man, pour that water. Drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, and drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Move your body and drink some water. Man, move your body. Drink. Or should I say, move, then drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Fam, just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then. Lift your glass and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. But if you want to stay healthy, breathe, drink, eat, move, and sleep. Culturally appropriate, of course. Take your breath. drink, 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 drink. Drink your water. Oh, shouts out to Brother Kwame. Man, family, I want to welcome you all to the Daily Toast. And as Brother Kwame say, great, great, great Imani to each and every last one of you. And he says also make it a great day. I guess my topic for the per Ankh for Malcolm X. We're supposed to be giving the per Ankh on what's that date? Is it the 12th? Supposed to be doing the per Ankh on, is it the 12th, Brother Kwame? I guess the hero's journey. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know. I'm still thinking. Still thinking. Family, this is the Imani Toast and Talk. The lines will be open. We're going to pour these libations. Then we're going to get into the conversations, the one we should have had yesterday, or the one we should have had the day before, or the ones that we need to talk about. Whatever subject touch your heart that you want to call in to talk about. I did receive a text from DJ Delfort Chadbourne about a subject, but I forgot to upload it beforehand, so I can't go to it without erasing this whole timeline. Good topic, controversial. He always send me some controversial stuff. For people that don't know, DJ Delfort Chadbourne is a longtime listener to Gianni Journey. As a matter of fact, he was one of the first producers to create a track for me, and that's the track that we use for now Folk Tales for Grown Folks, but originally we used it for what we used to call freestyle. We call it Nia now, but I used to do a freestyle every Nia. I used to get up and do a show, go to the hookah lounge, sit down and chill out and do a show. And it was called Freestyle. And you have heard the track several times before. So shouts out to him. He always sends me topics to talk about, great suggestions. And a lot of that stuff be super controversial. And like I said, I just forgot to upload it. So it was a mistake of the head and not one of the heart. Because I sure looked at that one this morning and was like, man. But it was something about women. Black women. Per Ankh, I thought so. May 12th, the APDS from 11 to approximately 1:15. We will be doing per Ankh. It'll be me, Kwame, Sister Navita. I don't know who else yet. But we will be doing a talk on Malcolm X. Since we got the Malcolm X Festival, they kind of dropped it on me. But hey, it is what it is. You have to be prepared to do your thing if that's what you do at all times, right? So, I'm not, So, I'm going to do something. I got to figure out what, though. I got a little bit of time. Got time to ponder. And to speak of pondering, tonight at 6 p.m., we will have I Wonder Radio on Gianni Journey, hosted by Brother Quasi Lowe and Ness, where I think the show will be going on. Because, like I said, family, this shit is not easy. It's not easy. Sometimes you got to get up and you got to make yourself do it. Now, as far as the toast, this is part of my devotion. You understand what I'm saying? Like, hey, some people got morning devotions, my morning meditations and stuff like that. This is mine. So this right here is just, I have to do it. I have to get up. I have to be ready. I have to do it. Even if I'm sick, I got to get up and do a quick one. But nevertheless, it still has to be done. And one day I will, hopefully soon, I'll be able to train a young person to be able to do what it is that I do. Trying to adjust the mic on Spreaker. If somebody is on Spreaker, could you let me know how the sound is? Because I'm experimenting with another mic. I think my blue mic is done. I have to replace that. I have to get a bigger table as well and probably another computer, or maybe a Chromebook, and take this one and get it debugged or whatever. But we have to keep the show going and growing. Lines will be open, so let me go and type that number in. Lines will be open. Lines are open at 614-556-4535. Bow. There we go. Let me put it up on here. Lines are open. The only thing about this tablet, because I want to move Spreaker to a computer. So I think I'm going, shouts out to Miss Jackie. I see you out there. I want to move Spreaker to a computer. I have to move to a computer because I want to use a digital mic. Lines are open at 614-556-4535. Just give me a couple of, let's do we're going to do the toast first. Then I will get the mic, then I will get everything working. Let me go on and log back in. Get it popping off. Okay. Boom. Let's start I'm going to open it. All right. So I open the lines now. Brother Kwame say we are of a generation who were not even born when Malcolm X was on this plane. So we will have a different view through our lens than our elders had, as they were concomitant with the Ancestor. Okay. That's a new word for me. I gotta look that up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, our view is always different, but I'm gonna come from the rites of passage, hero's journey perspective. When all else fails, do what you know, do what you're good at. The folktale route, the hero's journey route is what I've been working on for the last 30 years. So shit, I'm sticking with what I know, right? Do what we know. So first, let's go and get our ambrosia out. Oh man, I meant to bring in a bottle, because I said I wanted to. Whoa. Look at that. Y'all see it coming? Look at that. Look at this. See it come alive? Did y'all see that come alive? Or heard it come alive on Spreaker? I know, because I got to commentate for Spreaker. Let me see. Put that mic up there so that y'all can hear. Let y'all hear it over here. Like I said, this is a live drink. You hear it? Can y'all hear it? Uh-huh. This is a live drink, family. We don't play here at Gianni Journey. So now, it says nobody is speaking. Maybe the speaker can't hear me. Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2. Audio. Hey, just thought about it. I didn't get any ambrosia. I know you didn't. Because you tripping, man. No, you ain't getting none, man. Let's hang up and try again. I'm going to call in conference now. Give it some time. Oh, it won't let me hang up. I wonder why that is. End call. End conference now. More. I don't know what's going on. Check 1, check 2. You will be disconnected from call, and the conference will be over. Ending this call will disconnect everyone. Maybe somebody is called in. Is somebody on the line? I should have had a 6-pack waiting for me. Jackie, whatever, man. Well, I mean, you got a point there. But shit, it costs money to brew. Brother don't be having money all the time. I ain't one of them rich brothers. I'm living this ADOS life. Living the best ADOS life. Doing my thing, though. Let's try opening the conference lines again. There we go. Check 1, check 2, check 1, check 2. Check 1, check 2, check.
You are the first participant on this Uber conference. Please hold while we wait for the others to join.
Alright, so I opened the lines up. I'm just asking for people to hold off for a couple of seconds while I do these libations, while we handle our initial business. I will put the speakers so that Spreaker can hear it as well. You knew I was coming. What that mean, Jackie? Shit, I mean, a lot of times I don't plan life. Land plans me. I could have, girl, I wasn't going to, listen. You were visiting my town, and I wasn't charging. And for some, I'm trying to remember what happened that weekend. Something was going on that weekend because I came and I met y'all late. Then I don't know what happened that weekend. I think I might have had some. When you come, your first batch, you don't have to pay. You sure you ain't taste none? I don't know, Jackie. You might be making it up. You might be making it up. You sure you ain't taste none? Well, you be here next time. When you come next time, I have some. Hell, maybe if you're going to the ADOS conference, I'm going to bring some with me there. All right, family, but here we go. First, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose call that Creator. We lift up our glass, we salute that Creator, and we say Ashe. And from there, family, we move to our list of ancestors. Jackie, stop complaining. God damn it. Stop it. I got you. I got gallons and gallons and gallons and gallons, and I'm brewing. So you gonna have to come next time you come. I will have you some. I haven't had one. You said you ain't ready to. No, I'm not shipping. Now I did ship before, but that shit start blowing up, and I ain't doing that. This a local drink. You got to come, or it has to travel with me. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. First, calling on the ancestors: Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert Tex, Sandy Davis, Herman Brown, Senior, Rosalie, Tilly, Georgia, William, Walter, Chris, Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Jenny Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pittman L, Noma Exapet, Romley Kapoor, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling Lucy Wright, Gail Pulliam, Luxor Brother, Miss Ada Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Lonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, James Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Frank Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Natalie Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Ridderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Kevin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sir Jane Carter, Michael Porter Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Weller, Vita Farmer, Augusto Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammond, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow Slimmy, Selva Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bolden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Heather Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lovina Hall, Freeman Bankston, Mary Marshall, P. Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kenty, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, Deborah Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quills, Renee Thornton, Bernice Quills, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Derrida Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Franklin Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Delimon Ayers, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigel Perez, Elder Basiji Filani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, Depretis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scadden, Barry Wilson Headley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., William Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Leon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenbaugh, Hazel Gatson, Jerry Bradley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Lena, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkerson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavers, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Kirstine Cottrell, Al Becker, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch. Kimbo Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet McKay, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Kofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford, Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Alice Motley, Jonathan Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erliton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Jane West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Beth Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beer, Tim Butler, Remy Laura Newton, J.B. Porgy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Margaret Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee, Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ryan McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, JaVale McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarin Cofer, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. And we move to our black book. Is this what I'm looking for right here? Damn, it's not. All right. We have Joella Giles, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Ancestor, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McHale, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Elder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Denise Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khaled Isin, also known as Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominic Nichols, Ruth, Elaine Johnson, and Teresa Sambu. All right. Also, well, for those that want to get their ancestors on the list, you can inbox us on our Giami Journey page, or you could just text G and J to 25456. Text G and J to 25456, and you will get a return text from there, letting you know that you have opted in into our text messaging system. You could text back. I check my messages at least once a week on that system, so that if there's any ancestors up, I will toast them. So we lift up our glass to all of our ancestors that combine all of us in strength, in joy, in pride, in wisdom. We salute our tribe of ancestors, and we lift up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? I'm going to tell you where we go. We go into the present moment. In this moment that is all we got, right? We got a pact with our ancestors. We got a pact with our future generations. And that pact is very simple, family. The pact for the ancestors is to never forget them and always remember and to build on their wisdom. Don't get stuck in it, but to build on their wisdom and move forward. Take their lessons, use them, improve our lives so that we can live our best lives. And in us living our best lives, we will lay the foundation in which our children, which is our future, this part of the pact, in which they will be able to have space and time to build their pyramids to greatness. All right? So we lift up our glass to this moment. For those that don't know, today is Imani. I'm asking everybody to activate those reticular formations. Seek out Imani today, right? Should be easy to find, right? Take a picture, post it up on Giami Journey. So we get in the newsletter. We want to have hashtag faith, hashtag Imani, hashtag Imani found, hashtag Imani in action, type stuff like that, right? Today is faith, for those that don't speak the language. Harmony. Listen, harmony is the myotic principle today. Trust is what we teach the young people with the M7. Red is the color, and as you see, for once, I have my shirt on. Gender is the Hermetic law. The male name for the day is Quasi, so shouts out to all those Quasis. And female name is Akusua. We lift up our glass and we salute this moment. We celebrate this moment. We lift up this moment because we in this moment, family. And man, what a blessing it is, right? In between the sky and the ground, and ain't touching dirt no ways, right? So we lift up our glass and we salute this moment and we say Ashe. From there, family, we move on and we move to the future. Our children's children onto infinity. We toast them in advance so that one day when it's our time, they will remember to toast us. They will lift us up. And they will continue to lift up our future generations and remember that they're building for their future generations. So we set the model for them. So we lift up our glass, we salute our children's children on to infinity because we always was and we shall always be. We lift up our glass and we say Ashe. From there we move on to the present moment and we say Ashe. No, my fault. From there we move to all of our relations and we say Ashe. From all of our relations, family, we move and we toast, this is that selfish toast. What is it you need in this moment to be the best that you can be? Hopefully, in this moment, we will learn. Hopefully, in this moment, we will share. Hopefully, in this moment, we will build and get everything we need to move towards our greater self. We lift up our glass. We say Ashe. Last but not least, family, I toast the most magnificent, beautiful, uplifting, inspiring, most faithful individual in the room. And you know who that is? Don't get shy now. No. Don't be looking around. It's you. I toast you. I lift up my glass to you and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. All right. So family lines are now open. I'm going to hold on to this glass of ambrosia because this shit is good. Dry. How your bottle doing over there, Kwame? For those out there.
This call is being recorded.
We got somebody calling in. This look like our correspondent from Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. Who's this?
Yes.
How you doing today?
Yes, it's him. Hey, guys.
I'm going to let you get yours off before the lines start acting up. Go and get yours off before the lines start acting up.
Yeah, the lines have been horrible today.
You got something you want to shout out?
Well, I watched Antonio's video yesterday. I didn't get to watch it live because of the time. I tried to stay up, but I just couldn't do it. I fell asleep. Came on at 2 a.m. my time. But it was really. I mean, I got to listen.
I think the line might have dropped. She's talking about the video that Antonio Moore did. It's on the Giammi Journey timeline. And the title of the video is, I'm going to go back. Here we go. Jay-Z, Nipsey, and the Truth of Black Gentrification. Basically, what he was talking about was how Jay-Z is using the word gentrification wrong in the rhyme and stuff like that, and how once again, getting back to that decadent veil, getting back to the illusion that is being painted for our people and for other people to see, which makes it harder for us to demand reparations when people are using the narratives that's being told for us by the media, and where we have basically chosen people or people who have lucked up and ended up where they are, acting like they represent all of us. It's real talk. So if you get an opportunity, check it out. He also talks about he hits on lightly on the Nipsey Hussle piece, and he also has Dr. Cosby on, talking about how hard it really is to, one, buy up the block and do the stuff that a lot of these brothers are talking about on there on their platforms, buy up the block, that you live on, but you still need businesses to support that block. You know what I'm saying? You can't just have people living there. You need businesses to make a community grow. And the issue with us is that since we have been locked out of so many industries for so long, been locked out of actual real money, you know what I'm saying? We need intervention in order to, in a sense, protect and also to open up the gates for the resources so that we can start truly taking over the hood. But it's going to take government intervention. It's going to take our involvement in government and our pushing government to respond to the needs of us as a people. As Yvette Carnell called it, making us whole, making us fully citizens. We have not really been able to reap the benefits of being full citizens of the United States, and that is a result of the 250 years of slavery and maybe more, the 100 years of Jim Crow, all of the takebacks after the what they call it, Kwame, I know you know, the years between after the Civil War, the 12 years after the Civil War. I know Jackie know it too. Reconstruction, right? To take back from Reconstruction, because what we got to understand is there is a pattern, and we have to understand this, family. Think about this. There are patterns that every civilization go through. There's seasons, right? And we're entering a season because I want to go a little bit more in depth into this whole piece that I've been talking about. Because yesterday I brought up a conversation about the EU is talking about doing reparations for Africa. And I'm going to read that article because I want people to understand that these little people talking on YouTube, as they call them, right? These bots or whatever, talking on YouTube that created a small hashtag has, in a sense, brought reparations to the forefront of not only American politics, but politics all around the world. And family, I keep on telling you, it's the stubborn minority that gets what they want. And guess what we are? We are a minority. But we need to get a little bit more stubborn and a little bit more stern to get people to understand that we are going to stick in this fight. We are going to be recognized. We are going to be heard. We are going to receive reparations. And you will not take these motherfuckers back this time. This is the mind state we got to have, right? Sister Kim, her Wi-Fi dropped. My Wi-Fi is horrible today. My thoughts are that I had a weird feeling and Tone Talks validated my thoughts. We really don't have resources to do development, and when you see it, there is usually a backstory, i.e. money that we can't see, third-party private investment. So she's talking about with the whole Nipsey Hussle thing. A lot of people are believing that it's like Nipsey Hussle just walked in with a duffel bag of money and put it on the table. But if you listen to his interviews, he talks about a third investor. It was him, his brother, and a third investor that had access to capital. And we don't know who that third investor was, but it wasn't just them throwing millions of dollars on the table from a duffel bag. It was a legitimate business deal, and they were able to take advantage of the zone. It's called an empowerment zone or something like that, and get the property cheap and do stuff. But even with the businesses that was in there, they were kind of like, and I know people will be mad, they were kind of like predatory businesses, because those are the only businesses that set up in our community. We got to we got to understand that. Why? Because there is not a lot of wealth, so you're not going to get no high-end stores in our community. Dr. Cosby spoke about on this show how he bought up a whole neighborhood with his church, and they, you know what I'm saying? And he said, and what I like about how he talks, he says, listen, the only reason that I was able to do what I did was because when I started in 1979, I had boomer money. You don't have a lot of black pastors. You don't have a lot of black businessmen coming in admitting the fact that they are beneficiaries of the boomer generation, of that generation that was before my generation, right before my generation. It ended like 1964, right there. That's the cutoff period where they had access and the timing was right for them. The manufacturing jobs were there. You know what I'm saying? Where like I said, I can remember coming up through 8th grade, hearing about individuals that would leave high school and be able to go to B.F. Goodrich, because I'm from Akron, be able to go to B.F. Goodrich or Goodyear and start making good money. I'm talking like $20 an hour back then, $15 an hour back then. Now, we're looking at, you know what I'm saying, the bottom, let's just say 50%, according to the statistics, 50% of Americans are only making like $15 an hour. You know what I'm saying? This is what some people actually think is money. Is somebody back on the line? You here?
Yeah, I'm back on the line. I was just listening.
Get it quick.
Yeah, I'm here.
Get it quick. Come on. Your Wi-Fi back up.
Yeah, I know. I got to get it. Okay. So, okay, this is what I want to say about that show. I was just noticing Antonio's fire, and I was relating to him because, and you probably the same, it's almost like Harriet Tubman trying to force people out of slavery. And his fire was like that. And I'm like, what don't y'all understand? And you have this man online doing volunteer work because he's an attorney. He's not paid.
It fell off again. So now the Harriet Tubman piece, because she's bringing a good point. Because Harriet Tubman, it was said that Harriet Tubman said, yeah, I freed a lot, but I could have freed a lot more if they only knew that they were slaves, right? And it'd be a lot easier for us to get reparations in a sense if a lot more of us knew our true financial situation. But many of us are living vicariously through all these images and through all these people. We're living vicariously. And because we're living vicariously through these people, we are missing out, you know what I'm saying, on the reality. And like I said, family, if we're going to talk about Maya, come on now, let's keep it real. Being able to distinguish the real from the unreal. Go on, Sister Kim, while you got it. Come on. Come on. Get it in.
Okay. Now, I don't know where it dropped. So, no, I was just saying, what we're doing is like Harriet Tubman trying to force people out of slavery. And a lot of us would be like, why would you have to force someone out of slavery? Why do we have to convince people that we need reparations? That doesn't make any sense. Why do we have to do that? It's one thing for you not to think if it's possible. It's another thing you don't even to realize you need it when you know what you don't have.
And to have that argument,
Hello?
be arguing. Yeah, I'm here. To have that argument and be fighting with people.
No, but and that's my thing. And I'm at the point where I'm so tired of people that you talk to. Help them try to figure out their situation, but they're all delusional. They don't want to fight. And then you hear a few years down the road,
all right, for those that don't know, Sister Kim calls all the way in from Burkina Faso, the city of Ouagadougou, so her Wi-Fi goes in and out. But she's a major supporter of the show. She got a booth. Y'all got to understand the commitment of the people of Giamma. You know, the people of Giamma is like they're supporting. She even sent money in for the Malcolm X festival. You know what I'm saying? And And so we have to understand that what we are doing as a media tribe. You back? As a media,
yeah, I'm back. So I don't know where it dropped off.
It dropped off where you was once again you was trying to get into the Harriet Tubman piece, and you made it right through there, and then you went on to you're getting tired of you help people, and then all of a sudden you they argue with you about why they don't need it, but then you dropped off right before you say a few years later you hear.
That's true. No, what I was just saying is, when you're trying to help somebody, you're trying to convince them, how to deal with their situation. They don't want to hear it. They're all delusional. They're living off credit. And then next thing you know, down the road, they really suffering. They don't have a place to live. They don't have transportation. The kids are growing and don't have the job. They don't have anything. And then, to be honest, because of our situation being ADOS, we can't help them then.
Right.
We don't have deep pockets that we can say, oh, here, live in my house. Oh, here, take my car. To be honest, I'm not patting myself on the back, but I have given 2 cars away. I never have traded in a car. All my cars, when I'm done with it, I find someone who's needy and say, here, you can have it. I've given away cars. Hello?
We still here.
It was a poor connection. So, I've done that, throughout my life because I was in a position to do that. But a lot of people aren't in a position to give people cars, and I ain't never gave nobody a house. I'm not in the position to give anyone a house or give an education to someone. I'm not in a position to do that.
Right. And
we that's us. We can't do that. All we can do is give advice, work together, and somebody else I was listening to, they were saying, black people don't control institutions. Oh, it was Irony. He had Bobby Wright on his show on Friday. He said black people don't control institutions. Stop. But we have the people. Hello?
You said Bobby Wright was on the show? Bobby Wright is dead.
No, he did. I know he did a recording.
Okay. Ooh, don't scare me. I'm like to say Army's a bad motherfucker if he had Bobby, because Bobby Wright was.
Well, he is bad. He brought him back. He had him on his show. He had video clips of Bobby Wright, and he's talking about what Bobby Wright is saying and getting people to read his writing. And he was like, we don't control institutions. All we have are the people. The people have to come together. That's all we have.
That's all we have. But we have been convinced that's all you're supposed to have, right? You know what I'm saying? And so we justify the position we in, right? You just didn't work hard enough, or you made the wrong decision, or you majored in the wrong thing, blah, 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 not realizing that there are individuals in our group who have done everything that they were supposed to do and still is in the same situation. Credit, we confuse credit with wealth. We really don't understand the amount of wealth that was stacked when we were not able to compete. And we have been so used to moving around and being able to finagle things that we think that this is the way it is supposed to be. Not for the people that have basically built up this whole country. And this is the argument that we have to have with our own people, because it's shocking to me. And I want to bring up
it's an argument. I agree. It's an argument. We got to fight our own.
And the whole
understand it. Not to even do anything. Like, we're not even asking people to do anything. We're just getting them to understand it.
I'm going to challenge and say we need to be like Harriet Tubman, because Harriet Tubman would have stayed there.
We may be.
No, we have to be. See, because if Harriet Tubman would have stood there trying to convince people that did not want to run away that they needed, that there was this thing called freedom, she would have got caught. So we need to get in and get who we need to get and keep it moving. This is what because like with Lady J said we need to reach all the masses. And I'm like, yo, you young, you got that energy. I'm not doing that shit. You want a show? You go and try to do that. You can have those arguments. You can have those debates. You can do it. I'm not trying to do that. With the Daily Toast and with the shows I'm doing, I'm getting my people. I'm moving. I might do some haggling back and forth with the people that's in my crew. You know what I'm saying? But my whole piece is I'm not trying to convince people that don't want to be convinced. If you believe that your life is going to be all right without reparations, more power to you. Because I honestly believe, especially after reviewing my Nassim Talib library, that it is the stubborn minority that makes a difference. I don't need them all.
True.
We need a stubborn minority that is able to stick to the point and understand the facts that our lives as a group are at jeopardy and that this government owe us. And yeah, we can work from the inside and yeah, we can work from the outside. I'm like this, a multi-pronged strategy. Now, Sister Kim, when you come to America, I don't know how close you get to DC, but one of my dope sisters named Jackie is a great writer, and she has a comment. She said, Kim is so correct. She is a power forward in giving away cars and supporting your show, and probably on and on in that vein. The U.S. quotient starts there. We are pure individual presence and singular vision until someone like her wants to invest and believe in a collective that has the thoughts shared on this show. We cannot wait on those that want to keep going to Disney World rather than speak with sisters and brothers around the real world. And I mean, because that's what we are. Because I mean, it's crazy when you look at how different our lives are from the American life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is crazy. But the thing is, Tim, I believe a lot of us don't know how different our lives is from the American life because we live a segregated life. So when we get to a certain level, maybe through work or maybe in school, we can get a glimpse into that life. But for the most part, we don't know because they've done a really good job segregating us away from that.
But but we have to, and this is one of the things that I like to do, hype ourselves up. We have done a real good job of taking a little and making a lot.
True.
You know what I'm saying? We are such resilient people that we could take because we all know we all got relatives that swear that they balling, they live the life, and you know that you just know that they balling. But like you say, years later, you find out that all that shit was credit. That was the disguise. This motherfucker held a disguise for 30 years. I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we get salary and credit confused with wealth because we think that's what everybody else is doing. But everybody else is not doing that, family. Everybody else is not doing that. If you are making $50,000 a year, right, as a true American, you should only have to be spending $25,000 of that.
True.
You see what I'm saying? Or you have other funds that you are able to pull from, and we honestly do not look at the numbers because if America is a democracy and we are 13% of America, we should have 13% of the wealth. How is it that we only have 2.6% of the wealth? We should be 13% of the prison population.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It is land of the free, home of the brave. Or is it the land of the free and home of the slave? Which one is it? right? And this whole illusion is collapsing not only here, but all over the world. Because like Lady J get mad at me because I call her show. Like she did a show last week on, there was a fight at a skating rink. I'm gonna get to your comment in a second, Jackie. Don't start cussing. I'm gonna get to you. Yeah, hold on. Jackie don't play, Miss Kim. She good though. But she was talking about a fight at the skating rink where parents just dropped their kids off supposedly, and it was, and it was a fight that broke out. And I said, that's a problem with reparations. And she got mad because for me, when I'm looking at it, I have to be able to look and see the problem of wealth, the problem of where we are socially as a result of us not having access to wealth. Parents are dropping their kids off at a free event because they don't have money for other events for these children to go to. Why don't they have money? Is it because they're lazy? Because family, I want y'all to think about this. And this hit me so hard after I really, listen, when I started with this whole ADOS journey, first thing first, I was this American descendants of slavery or slave and shit I hated that shit. I hated it. I'm sitting up here, I don't like this shit. Then I'm listening to the event, I'm like, this bitch is depressing, right? I'm just being honest. Then I listen to Tone, I'm like, damn. Look, he got the numbers and shit, but he's so what the fuck? But then I had to really step back and get into my bag of principles that I have. And I had to be like, damn, Hatem, are you really accepting an illusion? Are you accepting an illusion? Step back and look at your own life. Yeah, you all right. But if you was to miss a week of work, if I was to be suspended for work for 2 weeks, or if I was to lose my job, me and my family would not be able to stay afloat for 2 weeks.
Nope.
2 weeks.
That's not all right.
I'm living a fucking illusion. And I'm sitting up here like, boom, I did most of the shit right in my life. I made the right choices in most cases. Right? Yep. So I was listening to a lot of motivational shit because I'm like, damn, maybe I'm not doing shit. I need to get up early. I need to work harder. And it took me, like, I've been listening to Breaking Brown for about 3 years when they first started with her and Army and all that. Maybe it might be longer than that now. But it hit me one time when I was listening to him that all this motivational talk was not designed for us. And this is what I'm going to say, because when you look at Napoleon Hill had to look around at all these white people and be like, how could you not be successful when the system has been set up that you automatically got an underclass that you are able to step on?
It's true.
You are the underclass. You have always been. Napoleon Hill wasn't talking to your ass. We got to be clear about this. Napoleon Hill and Zig Ziglar, and even we go all the way down to Les Brown. Les Brown is not talking to us. How can you not be successful as a white person in America when America was designed for white success? Now let me get to Jackie's point. She said, you find out at the funeral, though, Jackie said, you find out at the funeral, though, when the bills come, we leave debts, not riches. I had a conversation, and I'm going to give you 2 stories real quick. I had a conversation with my dad before he died. This year's before he died. But I seen him out on the street, and we was talking, and he started talking about when he died. He said, I ain't trying to leave nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not living that type of life. Y'all can bury me. Y'all got to take care of all that. This was his mind state. And when you talk to a lot of our elders, it's like, boom, I'm not trying to leave shit. I'm taking it all with me. You know what I'm saying? Sell the house, get it, you know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. They living on credit. You know, my dad wasn't even concerned about, legacy. When did we become a people that was not concerned about legacy, about space and time? You know what I'm saying? And what ADOS does, and as much as I dislike that name at first, what ADOS does, it allows us to create a box, create a circle, if however you will, where we are able to establish the borders and start fighting for space and time. Right now, because family, this is what people survive on. A people that don't have space don't exist. A people that don't have space don't have a time. A people that don't have space don't have a history. And right now, what we're doing, we're carving out our space, and we're demanding that part of the conversation is about us. And I'm going to prove how powerful this shit is. Because yesterday I told y'all that in the EU, let's go up a little bit, because I want to stress this. This kind of shut down my computer yesterday. I'm going to try it again today. So, European Parliament passes watershed resolution calling for reparations for crimes against Africa during European colonialism. Look up reparations on your computer. Reparations, right? Because of a stubborn minority that pushed it beyond what the elders had left. Not disrespected in Cobra and all those other organizations before, but they didn't do it like Tony and the Vet has, this new black media. They haven't done it like this. They haven't used the tools because of this stubborn minority. Now we got the European Union. The resolution was approved by 535 MEPs. I don't know who those are. I guess those like represented with 80 votes against and 44 abstentions. It calls on EU members to declassify colonial archives and issue apologies. Urges countries to adopt reforms to end discrimination against Afro-Europeans. Come on, family. Come on, family. The stubborn minority. All we got to do is stick to our goddamn guns. But, Brother Kwame, you on the line. I see you. What's going on?
It's all good. I was just, as you were talking, I was curious as to how you phrased that. My mind state is not so much that Brother Tone talks and Sister Yvette have, I think they've done what they were supposed to do. Mm-hmm. The elders and those who have come before carried the ball to where they were supposed to get it to. It's time for us and the younger folks to take it over.
Right.
And so I don't necessarily, I don't put one against the other as much as just saying, well, hell, that's what the young folks are supposed to do. They have the energy to do that, to carry it to the next level. And so they and we are doing what we're supposed to be doing. So I don't necessarily have any complaints about how folks carried the ball up to this point. Now that the ball's in our hands, what the fuck are we going to do with it?
There you go.
My language. I ain't supposed to talk like that.
You ain't supposed to. I'll talk like that for you. What the fuck we supposed to do? I said it for you. I got it. Go ahead. But one of the issues that we have, Kwame, is that we have gatekeepers, and they're trying to hold on to their lifestyles. So they do not look forward to passing the torch to the next generation. For some reason, if you look at a lot of our elders, I mean, they do it in white folks too. But I'm not even going. I'm not concerned about them. I need to talk about us. We know that we have elders who will hold on to the reins of power until they go to the grave. And that's what we hold. That's what we run into. Hold on, young boy. You're moving too fast. Hold on, young girl. You're moving too fast. Hold on. You're disrespecting and stepping on the shit that was laid before you when it's designed to be stepped on and moved on. This is why I said in the libations.
Look, remember when we were talking about the crabs in a barrel concept? And one of the ideas is not so much a crab trying to pull another crab down. The crab thinks that whatever it can put its hands or claws on to get up, that's what they're going to push off of.
Right.
So if those who want to be quote unquote gatekeepers or just don't want to hand over the reins, then that's what they become. They become something to push off of. So that's what's being done. You know, shoot, I
love it, man. I love it. So let me go back to this article. The European Parliament has overwhelmingly backed the watershed resolution. So, Jackie, I know you know, and maybe Kwame, you know, what do they mean when they say watershed? A watershed
is like it's like when you're building a dam. No, I'm sorry. It's like an irrigation mode. So you know you're digging to the point where you're about to break through that last moment when you have the water that comes through to water the plants or the garden or whatever it is. And so that becomes the watershed moment, that breakthrough. And so, you know, we have gates or whatever they call them now. Hell, I'm outside of my terminology or my lexicon here, but you have those where you release the gate for the water to come through. That's the watershed.
Okay. The European Parliament has overwhelmingly backed a watershed resolution calling for reparation for crimes committed in Africa during European colonialism. The bill urges European member states to introduce a series of sweeping reforms aimed at tackling structural racism facing millions of Afro-Europeans. It calls on the countries to implement a nationwide strategy to deal with discrimination in education, health, housing, policing, the justice system, and politics. The resolution approved by 535 MEPs with 80 votes against and 44 abstentions also calls on European member states, listen to this, to declassify their colonial archives. Now, this kind of blows my mind because I thought the information was out there. You mean it's some shit that they didn't tell? I mean, it gets worse? Come on now. Curbing the most disturbing periods of European colonial past and issues and public apologies. Now, I'm not reading this because I want to get in on it. I'm reading this so that to let y'all know that you don't find it strange that the European Union is talking about this while the shit is being shooken over here? I mean, it's just a coincidence? Come on, fam. Y'all, I mean, we have to understand the power of us having these conversations. Not just amongst with our families, with people around us, with putting reparations out there as Kwame just said, out there in people's lexicon, putting it out there in the ether, thinking about it, wondering how my life would be different, how my children's lives could be different if we at least had an opportunity, because many of us have not had an opportunity. In fact, it's sort of like being in the slave dungeon. If you think back, for those that are that study this in history, it's sort of like being in the slave dungeon, where they would crowd more people that was able to really fit into that room, but yet you always had that one that's in the ideal position that when they open the hole at the top and they throw the stuff down, it just happened to fall on them. And what we don't understand, we think that this motherfucker is lucky. We think that he's skilled. No, he's just in the right place at the right time. And we have to understand this about Jay-Z. We got to understand this about other people that are around. They were in the right place at the right time to receive. Right?
Hatim?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Hatim?
Go ahead.
Now, I want to add something. They were more than in the right place in the right time. They were also willing to do the bidding for the dominant culture.
I was being nice.
They're willing to act as they're willing to do that. There have been other people who've been in that place, but those people weren't willing to do it, and they don't ride. They get pushed aside. These people stay in those positions for a reason. And they continue to do the bidding for them. Irony, I'm going to use another Irony quote. He says he knows a lot of black people who are very successful doing bad things to other black people. That's how they got in their positions, and that's how they stay in those.
Hey, I was being nice. Sister Kira today is coming in, not trying to pull. She ain't, she throwing it out there. So, you know what I'm saying? They choose to be in those positions because in those positions, you in a sense keep everybody else in line. Or you could distribute the food a little bit more fairly so that everybody could get it. We have had those type of entertainers. We have had those type of people in those positions that try to make sure they were able to get out the stuff or spread the resources. But then you had those individuals that were, what's better than one billionaire? Two. Nah, family not for us. Please understand. You know what I'm saying? That's like if we got two black billionaires in the hood or in our community, that's like we living in serfdom. I'm just saying. I ain't shit. Listen. I ain't trying to be nobody's serf. It's bad enough right now. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us don't even realize it. We got all these nigga trinkets as still in line from Tariq Nasheed. We got a bunch of trinkets that ain't worth shit. Please understand that. Please. You got trinkets. Them rims is trinkets. That car is a trinket. The houses, family, I drive by and see these houses being built, and I'm like, it's almost like they putting cardboard on the outside of these motherfuckers, and they coming up so fast. You be like, wow, is this a real house? You know what I'm saying? And we getting them, and we like, I'm living a life. I'm able to get some cheap liquor. You know what I'm saying? I could go out and spend a lot of money on a goddamn purse, but don't have no money to put in it. We got to understand where we are. And that's, and like I said, I'm not arguing with people, but I'm not arguing about trying to convince you where you are. But when you slipping up on it, I'm going to let you know that this is where we are. And we got to understand it. Now, another article, Truth Making a Comeback from, this is the last one I read, excuse me, let me make sure I give out credit. That one comes from the dailymail.co.uk. I'm not going to read all the way, but here's a new one. Another article. It's called The New Worldwide Political Trend, Reparations. It's from an article from Liberty Nation. I never read Liberty Nation, so I don't know. I don't have the history on it, but we're going to read through it a little bit. But it's a worldwide trend. Look up reparations and look at how all of a sudden you got people talking about reparations. CARICOM was going before us. But what happens in America, family, what we don't understand is that the influence that we have, right, is incredible. And what we don't understand is how to guide that influence and make it on purpose rather than on accident. Jazz spreading, in a sense, for us was an accident. For others, it was a purposeful venture that they was trying to extract as much resources out of it. Hip hop spreading in the way that it did was an accident for us, but for other people standing around it, it was a cash cow for them. Rock and roll doing what it did. You know what I'm saying? All of the things we have done, we have not sat back and looked at how to purpose it so that we benefit. See, one of the things we got to get out of our language is doing for all. Because in political speak, when politicians come out and say, we're trying to serve all the people, that's code for we're trying to serve nobody. When you try to serve all, you can't serve no one. Legislation, in order to be effective, has to be specific. This is why, and it's a whole nother reason why I really start listening to these young people, Tone Talks and Yvette Carnell and other peoples in the new black media, because they started being very specific. Very specific. This is not for everybody. Reparations is not an issue that everybody. It's not about everybody. It's about us. And then you start looking at other legislation that went through for people, and it was very specific, except when it comes to us. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Quick comment, because it's right along these lines, but I'm coming from a kind of statistical perspective. When folks start talking about everybody, when we look at, let's say, you talked about we make up approximately 13% of the population of the United States, and yet we hold less than 2% of the wealth.
Somewhere around, it's lower than 3%, but go ahead.
Okay, well.
Still small.
3% of the wealth, excuse me. In one of the beginning statistics classes, it used to be that at the end of all your little statistical analyses, you'd have to put something to the effect of all things being equal. This is what this study shows. Now, when all things, so the implication of us being at roughly 3%, or only 3% of us having, any sense of wealth, or 3% of having any wealth, and we make up 13% of the United States population, one would assume that all things are not equal. And then it becomes necessary to try to find out, okay, are things not equal by chance or on purpose, excuse me. And again, nature shows that when, quote unquote, all things being equal, then if I have 100 balls in some kind of a basket, and 80 of them are blue, 10 of them are white, and another 5 are, but I got blue, white. Well, we're talking about the United States, so why not the red, white, and blue, right?
Right.
So you got 80% blue, 10% white, and another 10% that's red.
Okay.
So anytime I randomly, that means all things being equal. That's another way of saying all things being equal. Anytime I randomly select some, let's say, 20 balls out of there, I can roughly expect 15 of them to be blue, another 2 or 3 to be white, and the other 2 to be red. Now, if I get numbers that are adversely different from that, then I know a fix is in. And that's how when at those big gaming establishments, when a person starts winning too much, they send security over to him and say, look, we need to talk to you. Because they figure a fix is in. And so that's the statistics lesson for today. I'm done.
And speaking of that, Kwame also has part 2 of his logic lesson in this month's Giammi Journey newsletter. which will be going out. I'm still waiting for some other articles, Kwame. I wanna give you a round of applause for being on point as usual. He had it in so early that I couldn't find it. You know, where's my audience? Audience, Anime, get the audience together. Where my audience at? I mean, it's not a hard job. It's not a hard job. All you gotta do is cheer. Damn. Can you get a man a spot? Does it take this much for you to actually just go and clap it up for the brother? Goddamn.
Come on, but I'm listening.
All right. So, yeah. So now I'm gonna read this last article, and I'm gonna let y'all go because I gotta fold some clothes and get ready for tomorrow, and I gotta call some people about this newsletter. But the European Parliament approves African reparation resolution, ignores ongoing injustice at its own hands. Let's go and look at it. The major emotion driving the direction of politics today must be guilt. As moral codes have changed over the centuries, many have come to view Europe's colonial past as a terrible mistake, and shame over now reviled practices seem to motivate the world view of millions of people across the West. In 2019, the topic of reparation for slavery has been propelled back into the mainstream discussion. Now, so this means that it must have been in the mainstream discussion before, but has it ever made it to this level? Several Democrats' 2020 presidential contenders have indicated support for the idea, and a student at Georgetown University recently voted to contribute every semester to a fund for the descendants of slaves sold by the institution of the 1800s, in the 1800s. The policy appears to be gaining traction across the Atlantic too, and the European Union Parliament has passed a resolution that promotes equality for people of African descent facing structural racism in Europe. Who would have thunk it? While hinting at future reparations. But for all this posturing, is the EU a force for good in today's Africa? Or, like so many proposals today, does it just make politicians feel good about themselves and their immediate surroundings while ignoring the ongoing suffering their policies continue to cause only a short distance away? Then she got reparations for colonial Europe. It's you can go and read it. It's up on the timeline. EU crushes African farmers. All show no substance. So she basically is breaking it down. And one of the things that I always wondered was I don't understand why nobody understands that once we start pushing for reparations in America, it's going to open the door for everybody. Sister Kim, you up?
Yeah, I'm up, but my phone is really acting up.
All right. So let's go back to another interesting piece of news. Hold on, let me find it. Boom, this is NPR. So the whole reparations piece and stuff like that. But now, let me give you another angle. So, family, so one of the things we got to be aware of and we have to be knowledgeable of is that first, when I start attacking you, what I'm trying to do is first off, I'm trying to scare you up out of the fight, right? Then, if we do get a little scrape, I got to control the narrative. So now, what we're going to have politicians trying to come in, and we're going to have different groups trying to come in, trying to control the narrative of reparations. So now what we're going to notice is that you're going to have different people coming in talking about, I always knew it. Yeah, we got it going on right now, right? So now it's going to be some infighting because people are trying to control the narrative. Now, also, another issue that we're going to have to keep track of is the fact that some of us are going to be under attack. It's going to come rapid and it's going to come hard, right? So now, what they're going to use is they're going to use an experiment or like a proxy for this. And one of the proxies that they're using right now is we have NPR article. I know y'all heard if you've been on Facebook. Facebook bans Alex Jones, Louis Farrakhan, and other dangerous individuals. I'm reading from the article in NPR. Right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones and Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan are running out of places to espouse their views online. Facebook banned these high-profile personalities and several others from its social media platform. Thursday becoming the latest tech company to officially declare them persona non grata. Many of them have already been banned from Twitter, YouTube, Apple podcast apps. In addition to Jones and Farrakhan, Facebook also kicked off right-wing extremists Milo Yiannopoulos, Laura Loomer, and Joseph Watson, who work for InfoWars. White supremacist Paul Needham, who successfully ran for Congress in 2016 and 2018, and Jones' company InfoWars. The groups will also lose their accounts on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. Now, a lot of people might be cheering this, but I have this question. What did Louis Farrakhan do to even be put on that list like that? I'm just wondering. I mean, because he wasn't working. The Nation of Islam don't necessarily. Do they even have a large internet? A large internet platform that they're using, that they're pushing out his stuff. This is not about Minister Louis Farrakhan. This is them testing the waters to see if they could start kicking people off of these platforms. We have to understand this. This is the next level of the war. How many of us, right, talking about reparations, talking about some of the stuff that we do talk about, talking about black life, because the whole piece is family. Listen, and I'm putting this in my article. When you, as a group, start demanding time and space in the minds of people who have a limited worldview, or as Dr. Myers would call a suboptimal worldview, everything is limited. So in their minds, if ADOS is demanding time and space, this means that we are taking time and space from others, which means that in a sense, we are declaring war. Please understand, family, you don't always got to be sitting across from a table and signing papers and stuff like that to declare war on people. All you got to do is encroach on their territory. And when ADOS people start identifying themselves, we start encroaching. Once again, I said this yesterday, we start encroaching on people's social territory. We start encroaching on people's economic territory. We start encroaching on people's intellectual territory. And they get avid, they get angry, and they will respond. So this is why it's important that we kind of start getting organized, and we start really understanding what's happening. So in many ways, a lot of these platforms, and those that might listen that have a platform, and those that are tuned in to G&J, it is best for you to get on our Black Signal. You can text G&J to 25456. We have to start developing our own list. We have to start developing our own email list. We have to start developing our own text lines, because Minister Farrakhan is only the first step. Please understand that. This is the proxy. This is the proxy for Tariq Nasheed. This is the proxy for Yvette Cornell. This is the proxy for Tone Talks. This is the proxy for Professor Black Truth. This is the proxy for can't remember. Y'all know what I'm saying. This is the test. So if we're okay with this.
Tim?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I agree with you, and this is what we need to be prepared for. Like I was saying a long time ago, like it's going to be really tough. You talking ADOS, you talking reparations, and you notice that it did impact the Democratic election, the presidential candidacy. It impacted it. Do you think for 2 seconds that's going to continue without backlash, without a fight? We have ready for what's coming down. And this is just the beginning.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
And that's going to be who will continue to stay standing. They can do so many things, and I know there's no reason to be afraid, and that's why I like listening to Tariq Nasheed, because he's been through a lot, and he is still steady, and he says he knows he can go through more, and he's still standing. So we need to be prepared for that.
So, family, like I said, we need to go and make sure we got our networks, because like I said, there are ways offline where we still can talk. You know what I'm saying? There are ways. Like the line that Sister Kim is calling on. This line right here can hold up to 100 people. What if we got 3 of them operating at the same time? You understand what I'm saying? We got individuals with the skills that could build web pages. You know what I'm saying? I started going to Facebook because I was getting more live people watching on Facebook than on YouTube. I was just basically using Facebook to post up my YouTube postings. But then when Facebook Live came out, I said, cool, boom, this give me a direct access to the audience that might need to hear what I'm trying to share. So, family, we have to get ready, because at any given time, any of us can be out there. I sent you an article about that and why your show was having glitches. You sure did. But yes, Jackie kind of shouted out on this one before it even happened. But family, you got to in war, one of the first things that you have to do is cut off communications. And that's
what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I hate these people. I call them white supremacy collaborators. We got people in our race who are white supremacy collaborators, and we got people who are not in our race who are non-white who are white supremacy collaborators. So when we draw our line in the sand, the collaborators are going to come after us first.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come after, and they're our own. They're in our families. They're in our jobs. They're all around us.
They're all around us.
More of them than it is of us.
Go back to that scene with Mr. Smith being able to transform take himself and be anywhere at any time. And that's what we got going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Right now. It could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be your friend, it could be your cousin. This is why they instructed Neo, never run through crowds. Because Mr. Smith could always pop up anywhere. Busting cats. Blah, blah, blah. Right? We got to understand that, family. Now, so be on the lookout for the Giami Journey newsletter. It should be coming out. I'm going to give people a little bit more time. I'm going to fold these. Well, I'm going to go get me. I want a nice little sandwich real quick. I want a sandwich. I know exactly what type of sandwich I want. I'm going to get it, come back, fold me some clothes, get ready for tomorrow. But family, it was a pleasure talking to you. I want to thank Sister Kim for calling in. I want to thank Brother Kwame for calling in. I want to send shouts out to Miss Jacqueline C. Brooks for chiming in today. And I want to wish all of you a great day, a peaceful day, a safe day. But I'm going to have to get up off of here. I got to find my mics too. So I'm going to look for those too while I'm folding these clothes. But all right, family, this is Brother High Tim, and you are in a place where your hustle build muscle, standing amongst the congregation of the mighty, here at Giami Journey Media. Anime, why you so quiet, girl? course, you know this is a Heart of a Simple production, and we have done another Daily Toast and Talk on Imani. And you know we do nothing but strive to blow up your old paradigms. I'm out.